class of 1975. Yay! So we're going to get started here. My name is JJ Whitney. I'm the class of 96. I serve as the Executive Director for Alumni Constituent Engagement. And it is my pleasure to welcome all of you today. All of you who are already part of the Half Century Club and those who are joining us today being inducted. At this time, I'm going to invite Reverend Ellen Alston, who's class of 1982 chaplain of the college, to come and share our invocation.
Good morning. How wonderful to see you. Will you join me as we center ourselves in this moment? O source of life and love, giver of unrepeatable moments and timeless treasures, how quickly half a century can unfold, with the opportunity to reconnect with friends from yesteryear as if it were only yesterday. We are grateful for relationships and reflections, evergreen, ever growing, and ever new. How beautiful the journey that continues to surprise and enrich, bringing deeper wisdom, perspective, and humanity to share with peers and generations alike. With thankful hearts and minds, we pause and wonder at the feast before us. The hands that have lovingly prepared nourishment for our bodies and care for our lives in countless ways. The feast is on our tables and around them. The banquet is in this room and beyond. We are grateful for today and for this world you have given us to love and to share. In the name of all that is holy and true.
Thanks so much, Ellen. I'm going to give you some time to visit, enjoy your lunch that's prepared by our amazing dining hall staff. We're going to get started with our program about 11:30. So enjoy your time together around the table. Good afternoon again. We're going to get started with our program. Please continue eating. If you have not been served a plate, please raise your hand and our fabulous dining staff will be over. Before we give our recognition of this year's inductees, we want to give special thanks to the members of the Class of 75 Reunion Committee. And so I'm going to ask Sherry Lyons McBride and Lynn Nichols if they'll make their way up here to the podium to share some information about your festivities this evening and this weekend. And Lynn's going to give a report about your giving goal.
This is my chance to welcome you to this reunion to celebrate, it's hard to say, 50 years. As you look around and you see some familiar faces, maybe a little older faces, just remember all the friendships that we formed and all the lessons we learned when we were so young. But it isn't just about looking back. It's also, I think, a celebration of what we've achieved in our lives and the paths that we've chosen. I wanted to thank JJ. She has been great to work with, supportive, kind, and immediate. I asked her something about it immediately. Thank you, JJ. I think the turnout for this event is a testament to the strength of the class of 1975 and just to the bonds that connect us all. We have about 100 people coming to our party tonight at 6 o'clock in Crossing Hall. If you haven't signed up and want to, you can still pay for the door. Tomorrow, Saturday night, Deborah Miles has planned dinner for us. It's at Eat My Catfish, which is on Harprider. It's just another chance for us to get together. We have a separate room, and you just order your own food. It's from 5 to 7, which is actually before all the other activities. And now I want to thank my committee. They worked so hard to make sure that we got as many people contacted and that we had as many people come and speak. And I think I want you guys to stand up as I call your name. Jan Burford, Ann Kritz, Janie Newberry Jones, Deborah Miles, and Nichols, you're already standing, Elizabeth Ragsdale Norton, Kathy Hyatt Pierce, Susan Brockman Schulte, Joella Hillis Tate, and Ann Locks Turner. Thank you. Round of applause. Thank you all. It really was a lot of fun. And lastly, just let me say welcome home, Hendrix.
Well, so I just want to say Sherry did about 99% of the work. So we do a round of applause for you. Mac, and I still don't know how this happened, but I was the only guy on the committee, and so, you know, we divide up volunteer tasks, and I volunteered to get the liquor. That's what we used to do when we were young. And of course, we always had Mac, because he had an ID, so you can pull it off legally. But anyway, truth is, Sherry decided to get the liquor on her own last week, so I didn't do a darn thing. But anyway, I appreciate her. So I'm here just to speak somewhat briefly about an opportunity. We all know and probably regularly mourn a lot of the members of our class who have passed on before us. And some died this year, and it's particularly counting to think about them. We miss them. But we also celebrate their life. And some of you know we started a fundraising idea for a scholarship in the name of George Spencer. And I'm happy to say, JJ whispered to me just a moment ago, and emailed me at 5 o'clock this morning. Apparently you don't sleep at all. Anyway, thank you for that. We have crossed the big threshold of $25,000. We can now have George Spencer. Now, that's the good news. The other news is that ain't the end of this little fundraising activity, because you see, we want to keep this thing growing. Because if you multiply 5% times 25,000, as generous as that is not in Hendrix tuition in any way. So I want you to think about the spirit of George Spencer, and I'm trying to channel him today, and I'm pretty sure if he were here, he would say, thinking about the weather we've been through, that Cadron is going to be perfect on Wednesday, right? There's no doubt about that. And so I want you to feel free, in fact, think about it regularly. Just go ahead and go to the website where all this stuff is. And you can give to Hendrix on your own in your own ways, God bless you. But think about adding to the George Spencer Scholarship so that the whole purpose of this, kind of like the George Thompson lecture, so their memory lives on forever, so that the students come to think of it as something really, really special. Now, when we first started it, we wrote, Steve Lloyd and I, some others, what we really wanted it all to be, and Henry said, that's very nice, but we get to pick. Right? You don't have anything, that's fair. I agree with that. But anyway, what we think is George embodied the spirit of not only our class, but Hendrix College, because he was very good at academics, but he also liked to have a good time. And he also balanced in the social sciences, economics, with the natural sciences. And of course, he ended up teaching AP chemistry at Cable for quite a few years. So join me in saying a prayer for George and all those we've lost, and do feel free to add to the fund over time and make that thing even more valuable to the current students.
Thank you, Sherry and Lynn. And if you were not here for Lynn's lecture last night, it was a real treat for us, and it was a great crowd. We got it recorded, so we'll get it out to the class. That lecture was fantastic. The George Thompson inaugural lecture last week. So in 1962, James E. Major, the class of 1940, and the first vice president for development at Hendrix, launched the Half Century Club with a reunion of the class of 1912. Building on the great foundation, we are now excited that you can join us for the 63rd anniversary of the Half Century Club. Today we celebrate a remarkable milestone in your lives and in the history of Hendrix College. 50 years ago, as members of the class of 75, you embarked on a journey filled with aspirations, a love of learning, and hope for enduring friendships. We can see that evident. Your years on campus 50 years ago are more similar to today's students' experience than you might think. Your class was here as our new president at the time, Dr. Roy B. Schilling, launched new plans for Hendrix. Much like our students today are working with Dr. Karen Peterson on dreaming big and creating new plans for today's Hendrix. Think about what was happening in the world during your time at Hendrix. The Pentagon Papers were published. The voting age lowered to 18. We had President Nixon's visit to China and the Watergate scandal. The Vietnam War officially ended the year you graduated. At Hendrix, the national discontent naturally poured over into the bright students that we had on campus, that's you all, who boldly questioned authority and pushed student concerns about dress codes and dorm policies, particularly the standards between versus men and women about open visitation and what you could wear, and other parts of student life. Big events during your time included Couch Hall becoming co-ed and having to drop its traditional slogan of Couch has men. The campus radio station, KHDX, began and pushed against the norms of being a Hot 40 station by being a quirky Hendrixy station. The Wilbur Mills Center opened despite a bit of scandal. Goat Roast started during your years at Hendrix. But maybe one of the biggest events during your tenure was Hendrix's interest in a new national college campus fad of streaking. It is reported that on many evenings in the spring of 1973, over 300 students would gather on the library patio to watch for streakers, something that the profile called the biggest social event of the year. I'm not so sure that Dean Francis Christie would have agreed with that. Today, though, through this special induction into the Half Century Club, we honor your contributions to Hendrix, and we recognize how your time at Hendrix has shaped this place. And we hope that we can convey our appreciation for your legacy and give you time to reconnect with your class. So in just a moment, when your name is called, please step up to the table and receive your medallion. Once you've had your picture made by Nelson here, please return to your table. If you are unable to come forward as your name is called, please raise your hand and we will come to you. Greg Oliver. Jan Roseberry Alford. Lynn McKnight Bailey. Oh, there's Lynn. Lynn McKnight Bailey. Just if you come. Deborah Becker. so intentional. He's gonna ask you to take your lanyard off, so we can just see your beautiful medallion. Bill Bethea. Lois Blanks unfortunately cannot be here with us, but we recognize Lois at this time. Jan Burke. Tom Portland. Patty Shields Fox. Bob Crossman. Nancy Schmidt Culbertson. Cecil Cup. Marsha Moffett Daniels. Cindy Dodge. Charles Field. Bill Pfizer. Bill Freeman. And Fritz Fry.
Send it to you. Cheerio.
Sam Gitchell. Gary Green. Ann Guthrie.
Jency, oh, so glad to see you. Wow, you're amazing.
Norma Edmonds Hargraves.
I've sent us a couple of messages, but I wasn't sure if they'd get to her.
Do you want me to check the phone number you have?
Do you want me to send it to your phone?
Yeah, or else I'll want you to get a note of when he comes back.
She said she was at a rally table. Bonnie Carter Hartz. Lila Havens. Ship Hayes. Ted Holder. Bob Hollingsworth. Frank Hughes. Linda Harris Hughes. Randall Henley. Joyce Jackson. Janie Newberry Jones.
Move all of my purchases out one of my right foot. Yes, sir.
Carol Jeffries Jones.
All right.
You want to be in it, or you want your own picture?
This one goes to the post office.
Okay.
All right.
Al,
Yeah, you got that.
Yeah.
They live near Manassas.
Jinsey Kessler.
Short and sweet.
Cindy Goodwin Portsmeyer.
Now, Sam, you got your degree in psychology. Did you become a counselor? Yeah.
Pat Cobb. Jim Leffler. Chuck Letzing. Sherry Valines McBride. Deborah Miles. Dana Miller. Roy Millard. Gina Nahi.
Is this your 50 year? We'll get your photo and send it to you. Where do you live?
Judy Miller.
I've been there longer than you were.
Lynn Nichols. Elizabeth Ragsdale Norton. Matt Norton. Wes Norton. John Patterson. Charles Peer. Kathy Hyde Pierce. Jerry Pruden. John Reed. Van Reed. Sydney Dabney Reyes.
Goes in your desk drawer.
Denise Davis Ritchie. Roberts.
You can open it from the inside, but I don't think you can open
Danny Rowe. Susan Brockman Schulte. Peggy Young Seaman.
corner on the market. The market on the thing.
Yeah, I got a CG.
Did you get the pictures? Did you get the pictures?
Cindy Glover Slaughter.
Not yet.
He sent it by text.
Judy Spears Coker. Tom Spivey.
5721. Area code 501. Oh, yeah.
Laura Bradley. Thomas Poole. Cheryl Snyder. Ellen Jo Hillis Tate.
It says delivered again.
Jeff Tate.
Got it?
Missy Osborne Ellis Tidwell. Ann Locks Turney.
I sent the one of Dan and Sam to your phone so you can send it to them. Is that okay?
I'm gonna send this one.
David Weatherford. Vida Williams. Vicki Simpson Wilson.
Two women had hair down their shoulders. It's kind of startling to think about it. Two people had hair down their shoulders, a girl. 55.
David Young. Is there anyone that we did not call your name? If you needed it now, please come up.
I won't be calling you questions.
Trisha Hamilton Carlin. Anyone else?
Really nice.
They might have church.
One lady is very young.
Will the class of 1975 stand during? As the newest members of the Half-Century Club at Hendrix College, we recognize you as exemplars of our motto, unto the whole person, and celebrate the contributions you have made as alumni to continue our Hendrix legacy of those who lead lives of accomplishment, integrity, service, and joy. Thank you. So we're grateful this afternoon that Dr. Karen Peterson is here with us. She was elected the 13th president of Hendrix and took office in June 2024 after the retirement of President Ellis Arnold. She is the second woman to lead Hendrix as president, following Dr. Ann H. Dye Hasselmo, who served from 1992 to 2001. An Arkansas native, Dr. Peterson joined the Hendrix community from the University of Tulsa, where she was professor of political science. She also served 16 years at her undergraduate alma mater, Middle Tennessee State University, culminating with her tenure as the Dean of the College of Liberal Arts. Dr. Peterson earned her master's degree and PhD in political science from Vanderbilt University. She and her husband, Jody Kiesler, also an Arkansas native, are parents of 2 children, including a student athlete at a residential liberal arts college. He's got to graduate. Since arriving on campus, Dr. Peterson has engaged widely with all aspects of campus life. She's launched a strategic planning process, made herself available weekly to students, staff, and faculty, and to the Conway community. Hendrix alumni can be proud of her leadership and confident that the college will continue to be strong as we celebrate our sesquicentennial next year. Please help me please join me in welcoming Dr. Peterson.
Short. Thank you, JJ, for that introduction. I will make one correction, however. I started in 2023, and president years are like dog years. And I cannot lose credit for that first year, not the least of which because it's a challenging time to hire in. Oh, that's much better, thank you. And I am so glad to be here. And I'm so glad to see you here. It warms my heart. And I know that you had to brave rain and lightning and floods and all kinds of weather inconveniences to be here. So thank you for the extra effort. Before I give you my prepared remarks, I do want to say thanks to Ann Turney and Sherry McBride for being the co-chairs of this reunion committee. This is, of course, a much ramped up responsibility when you're entering into the Half Century Club. So thank you to both of them for their hard work. Please join me in appreciation. Now, we have at least one current trustee in the room, so if you are a current or former trustee of Hendrix College, would you stand for a moment, please? Aha, you made it. There you are. Thank you. Appreciate you guys very much, and Teresa. So, I don't know how often you get back to campus. It's been 50 years since you graduated, and maybe some of you are around in town and you're here often and you're accustomed to seeing the campus like it is today. But if you haven't been here in a while, you might have noticed it's changed a little bit. Oh, you might have also noticed Conway's changed a little bit in the last 50 years. We have a beautiful campus. I mean, it is an oasis, and when you walk onto campus in the morning, Conway's a nice town. It's not particularly noisy or crazy and stressful. But when you walk into campus, it's like you're transported into another place. And it's not an accident. And we don't plant pretty flowers and build beautiful buildings just for the sake of doing that. We do that because they're part of the experience. They're part of living the life of the mind. And part of living the life of the mind is being in a place where you can shed some of the stress and distractions of life. So this is intentional, and it's changed. I've seen photos of the campus. I've read everything I can read about the campus's history. I know it didn't look like this 50 years ago. And that's a good thing. But there's something about this place that hasn't changed at all. And that is the significant investment that our faculty make in our students and our staff. Every person in this room, I guarantee you, every person in this room can tell a story and would tell a story about someone at Hendrix College who changed his or her life because of the time and effort invested in you as a young person. That's still true today. That is absolutely what we're doing today. And so when you're walking around campus or when you're at the Galloway Tea this afternoon, I would encourage you to pull a student aside, and after they get over the initial shock of talking to some other human being who's not a student, ask them about their favorite professor or their favorite class. You'll hear stories, and some of them will be familiar and they'll sound the same, but some of them will be very different. Ask them about their Odyssey projects. If you want to be amazed by a group of young people, have them talk to you about all of the things they're doing as part of the Odyssey program. It's remarkable. Change and continuity is a theme that's been on my mind a lot. We're entering into a season of, I think, extensive celebration with our sesquicentennial coming up in 2026. And I've said from day one that there are two things about Hendrix College that can never change. And I've said this, and Dr. Morgan can attest to it, to the faculty and to the staff. There are two non-negotiables: the liberal arts and the residential experience. Everything else is up for evaluation, and I mean literally every other aspect of this campus. In light of the tremendous challenges facing higher education today, and frankly, the all-out assault on higher education in our country, colleges like ours have to evaluate everything we do. But then again, colleges like this one, well, we've kind of had to be scrappy always. So if you think, and don't let anyone tell you there was ever a moment in Hendrix's history where it was easy, there wasn't. It's always been hard. Right? This work is not easy work. And we're accustomed to having to, I think, fight. I've been serving as an evangelist for the liberal arts for a decade. This is not new to me. But I maintain right here and in every other venue where I talk about it, there is no other type of education that's better preparation for life and for a flourishing life in a free society. So as we enter our sesquicentennial, we'll be looking to you and all of our other alumni to help us build a more resilient institution so we can keep providing that education. One that can weather the storms today and the storms of another 150 years. Affordability and access are key pillars of that resilient future. Endowed scholarships like the one that we announced this week, which I think was in yesterday's Democrat Gazette, if I remember correctly. Endowed faculty positions and support for the strategic initiatives that we create to maintain our quality are all important investments for the future of the college. As we turn our attention to the future, though, I'm reminded again of the importance of the past. About a year ago, I had an inauguration here. And one of the key lessons I learned in preparing to take this job and preparing for that inauguration and studying Hendrix's history is that we must remain focused on our mission in spite of, or even because of, the turbulence around us. John Hugh Reynolds, who was a former president of Hendrix, once remarked that this college, in contrast to the world around it, pours forth a steady stream of balanced minds into an unbalanced world. Our responsibility to a society in turmoil is exactly that, to educate our students in such a way as to prepare them to contribute productively and meaningfully to society. And we do that by remaining focused on our purpose, which, as JJ said, is to inspire students to lead lives of accomplishment, integrity, service, and joy. The work that President Reynolds referenced continues every day on our campus. Just this week, we learned that one of our students, Harry Lance, was selected as a recipient of the Goldwater Scholarship. The Goldwater is a national competition, and it's designed to identify, encourage, and financially support outstanding undergraduates with interest in science and mathematics, and interested in pursuing research careers in those fields. It's a preeminent undergraduate award, and if you were to go to the Goldwater website, like I did, and you were to scroll through the recipients of that award from all over the United States, Hendrix is an outlier. We don't belong on that list. Like many of the lists that we land on, we punch above our weight. You'll find that list populated with institutions with far greater wealth and a lot more students. Flagship universities, Ivy League institutions, East Coast liberal art colleges. And then there's Harry from Conway. Harry is an outstanding young man. I happen to know him as I know many of our students. He's the kind of student who's always thoughtful. He's always smiling, except that one time right before midterms where I encountered him on the sidewalk. He's just a good young man, and he's exactly the kind of student whose opportunities would be limited if we fail to remain focused on our mission, and if we fail to prepare for a future that's challenging for all of higher education. Harry would not be here today, I know this about him, if it were not for the financial support that we're able to provide him thanks to our friends and alumni. So despite the unrelenting pressure we're under, I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic about the future of this institution. I see a bright future for us. I can't imagine, and I refuse to actually imagine a day in which this experience that we provide is not available to the young people of Arkansas and beyond. I don't want to imagine a world in which a talented young man like Harry Lance doesn't have Professor Deerhoff to mentor him to success. Ensuring our flourishing as an institution is absolutely the best and most important thing we do and we can do in order to also ensure the flourishing of our republic. And we'll flourish because of people like you and because of people like Jeff and Catherine Johnson, who stepped up and invested in our future by endowing a scholarship this week. I'm grateful to each and every one of you for joining us this weekend. I will see you at your party Saturday night, and I want to, tonight, sorry, JJ will make sure I will see you at your party at the correct night and the correct location. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to have one-on-one conversations with you, and I'm always happy to connect with you outside of Alumni Weekend as well. It's an honor and a privilege to serve as the 13th president of Hendrix College, and I'm grateful for your time and attention today, and I hope you have a glorious, if not slightly wet, weekend.
Thanks so much, Dr. Peterson. You can tell that she loves Hendrix. She's really passionate about this place. We're so grateful for her leadership. Please join me in expressing our appreciation to our dining hall staff. They're already gone, but let's thank them anyway. In just a few minutes, we're going to sing our alma mater, and that is printed in your program if you forgot the words. But I want to first encourage you to participate in the many other activities that are on campus this afternoon and during the weekend. And after we have the benediction from Reverend Alston, then we would like to take a class of 75 photo. And so we're going to look to Nelson to give us instructions about where to gather, maybe here. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so after we end, after the benediction, we'll come here and take a class photo. If you'd like a tour of campus, we have some students who are available here in the borough. That's what we call this gathering space that you were in earlier. You can go on foot, or we have some students who are driving golf carts. So just find one of them. They're happy to take you around. But all the buildings are open except for the dorms. As you probably can guess, we keep those closed for the safety of our students. But a student can let you into a dorm if you'd like to visit some of the dorms as well. And then our Windway Museum, that was not here when you were a student. We have an art museum on campus. And so this is the last weekend for some fantastic exhibits. So I hope that you'll go over today, 12 to 5, or tomorrow, 12 to 5. And then our spirit store is open. You may need some new Hendrix swag. You have a discount as an alum. So 10% discount at the spirit store this afternoon. Bailey Library is also having a book sale. And so there's some old books over there for sale. So you might go take a look over at Bailey Library. That's open until 5, and then tomorrow from 8 to 5. But we have a very special Galloway afternoon tea. You're all invited at 2 p.m. over in the Galloway parlor. We have some news to share, so you're gonna wanna come and see what that is. And then a couple of other events today. Of course, you can find all of the events on the QR codes that you'll find on the yard signs around campus, and also on the alumni webpage. But we have the Watson Fellows Alumni Panel tonight, this afternoon at 4 o'clock in the Dawkins Welcome Center. This is our 40th anniversary of the Watson Fellows at Hendrix. It's a milestone year for us. And so we have some of our alumni who are going to present this afternoon, and they're having a party themselves tomorrow evening in Bailey Library. And of course, your big party, Class of 75, is tonight at 6 o'clock in the Fawcett Atrium. And if you have not paid and you want to attend, Sherry's like, come on, and you can pay at the door. We've got plenty of food and plenty of fun. So the president and I will be there to say hello at some point during your class party tonight. All right, so as I said, if you are in the choir at Hendrix and you would like to come and lead the alma mater with Dr. Andrew Morgan, who's the director of our choir here, you are welcome to come now to the podium. Or if you just want to sing the alma mater in front of all these folks, we're all going to sing. We're all going to sing because this is what Dr. Morgan does. He teaches every new class at Hendrix the alma mater at their new student convocation. And then he leads it as they walk across the stage for commencement. So it's a bookend for our students. But Dr. Morgan's going to come up and lead our alma mater.
Thank you, JJ, and thank you, Dr. Peterson, for your remarks. Nice to see you all. I know that I've met a few folks in this wonderful room here. I'm Dr. Andrew Morgan. I teach in the music department. This is my 11th year at Hendrix. If you're familiar with Candlelight and have been to any of those in the last few years, then you've seen me doing my thing. And I certainly look forward to seeing many of you at this year's Candlelight as well. We're going to sing the alma mater. We're just going to go through it once, but I'd love it if you would stand as you're able to join us as we sing together. And if you don't know the tune, you're going to fake it till you make it. So we have all the lyrics are printed on your program for the luncheon. Let's just go ahead. I'll conduct through it all. I'll sing in the microphone here as well. Let's give it a go. Starting on Hendrix College. Ready, and 3, 4. Hendrix College, we will love thee through thy years to come. As we love thee now today, while our hearts are young. Kindly is thy spirit always, friendship and good cheer. Make thee Hendrix College to us alma mater dear. Give yourselves a round of applause. Bravo. Thank you so much. Have a seat.
In this very full weekend, I have one more thing to mention, in addition to all that JJ and Dr. Morgan have spoken about. On Sunday morning is the memorial service for alumni and former faculty and staff and former trustees and all kinds of beloveds who've been a part of our community who passed on during this past year. So we'll have a time to celebrate and give thanks for their lives as we remember those moments. On Sunday morning at Green Chapel at 10:30, I believe there's a breakfast start before that. No, I'm sorry. There's, anyway. That's it. So it'll be a great time to gather. I look forward to seeing you there. As we are here at this moment, with full hearts, inspired minds, In buoyed spirits, may we go forth to keep on building community and friendships and to tell the Hendrix stories as we continue to live our own. Go forth in power and in peace. Amen.
Thanks so much. And if you'd like to take a photo with your class, we ask you to come up here, and Nelson's got some instructions. We also have a backdrop back here, and Nelson will hang around for a few minutes. If you want to take any kind of picture of friends, spouse, people across the classes. So this is the East Lobby if you'd like to take photos out there. And Dr. Morgan, can you keep that door open? Can you open the door? Thanks. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great afternoon.